Hey guys, welcome to the Heart of David. It's a later video. I don't usually do later ones. I do them when I'm sitting down to eat, but I kind of can't help myself. Just got back from a walk right now. Haven't even set stuff up to eat. Had to get these words out. I want to talk about Iran just briefly, but I want to talk about two prophecies, and I'll explain that. Hope you guys are doing well, by the way. It's amazing the things that are happening. And what I would say, I gotta get water here. And what I would say is these prophecies that are being fulfilled, like Jeremiah 49, I will break them at the foremost of their might. This is an ongoing operation, so I'm breathless because of the walk. It's an ongoing operation, so it's not finite. It's not just one attack. And, they're trading blows and stuff. And just before I left, I saw a video of a hypersonic missile hitting Israel. So they're starting to do that, and it hit, and it was a big explosion. And I think it's going to be something like that. That's going to either bring in the U.S. or Israel's just going to say, we've had enough. We're going to take everything out. In any case, that would be that would be Jeremiah 49, of which I'll read. And I'm making this because I noticed something else. Maybe I don't notice as much as you guys do because I'm in two different schools at the same time. But I still watch the news. It just goes to show that this day is coming closer. And you know what? I'm going to start with this. Let me take a sip of water. Pretty far walk. I thought this would interest you who are living in the States or around the world. This is a symptom of we know that the rich elite billionaire class and 100 billionaire class, not that every one of them is bad, but a lot of them are. The riots that you see happening, is it really against Trump? And I believe Trump's the Antichrist, but it doesn't matter. It's because all the people that have, and I believe this is a game, this is a Hegelian dialect, okay? There's a setup for a reason. But there's one thing that makes me kind of angry, I'm sure it'd make you guys angry, is that with these ICE raids, as they should do, and people forget that Obama ejected so many more people than there right now, but it'll overtake that, I'm sure. I was watching some of these raids, like taking hundreds of people from like meat packing plants and stuff like that. And so who doesn't benefit from this? Just think about this. Who doesn't benefit from cheap labor being removed from California, from all over places in the United States? One place, Walmart. So the woman who owns Walmart, she's the heir anyway. She's like worth $20 billion. These people lose. I'm going to have to do something with my rabbit in a second, but these people lose a lot of money. They still make a lot of money anyways, but they believe, when I say they, I say a lot of smart people believe, because they've investigated it, that this woman is responsible for a lot of this. The heir of Walmart. These people are pissed off, sorry my language, about losing all their cheap labor. And doesn't God say in the Bible, like, they didn't get their wages, and this is why God is angry? They want slave labor, and they're losing it. So they're doing this. And they're not going to win, obviously, right? That's why I don't make videos at this time. It's very tough to swallow right now. Just give me a second. Watch out. There you go. Yeah. So these people are essentially evil, and that's what I wanted to say. So look further into that. So the news is very exciting, isn't it? Let me see. Let's read Jeremiah 49. I hope my thing doesn't go out. So I was reading Judgment on Elam. So let's read the Judgment on Elam. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam. So you wonder yourself, did this already take place? Well, we'll see. In the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the king of Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the foremost of their might. And I think that's their nuclear and oil. Against Elam I will bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and scatter them towards all those winds. There shall be no nation where the outcast of Elam will not go. That sounds like radiation, unlivable, or economic downturn. For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies. That's happening right now. And before those who seek their life, I will bring disaster upon them. My fierce anger, says the Lord. It's starting to happen. God is starting to act for Israel. And I will send the sword after them until I have consumed them. Not the good people of Iran. Until I have consumed them, I will set my throne in Elam. I will destroy from there the kings and the princes, says the Lord. But listen to this. Here's the very end. But it shall come to pass in the latter days. So we know we're in the latter days, because this has not been fulfilled, and it says it's going to happen in the latter days. It's happening right in front of our eyes, so this is the fulfillment. I will bring back the captives of Elam, says the Lord. But then I started to look, and I looked up a bit more. There's a lot of different judgments in this. Judgment on Damascus. I looked at this, I'm like, and I had to research, and I did after, and I believe this is fulfilled. People are going to argue against this, that's fine. But I believe we probably saw this. Assad fell. They had ruled for like 45 or 46 years or something. They were evil too. It doesn't matter who took their place in this. Against Damascus, Hamath and Arpad are shamed, for they have heard bad news. They are faint-hearted. Assad's regime, because there is trouble on the sea. It cannot be quiet. Damascus has grown feeble. She turns to flee, and fear has seized her. Anguish and sorrow is taking her like a woman in labor. See how quickly Assad had to leave, and they don't even know where he is right now, I don't think, still. Correct me if I'm wrong. Why is the city of my praise, why is the city of praise not deserted, the city of my joy? Therefore her young men shall fall in her streets. And there was battles, right? And all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, says the Lord of hosts. I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and it shall consume the places of Ben-Hadad. I can't speak to the names of those places right now, but someone's going to say, well, it says a kindle a fire. Well, look what it's going to probably build itself up to. Isaiah 17, right? The burden of Damascus. At nighttime, it will be there, but in the morning it won't be. There hasn't been a time, so they're actually flourishing right now. There hasn't been a time when they've been a complete ruinous heap. And I understand 400,000 died, and they look like the streets of World War II, but the way this describes it sounds like a nuclear blast. Or something, a neutron bomb, I don't know. In any case, that's what I wanted to say. And, you know, like as these things are happening, aren't those riots very strange? I saw you know what it is? It's a fulfillment of, what is it, 2 Timothy? Not always the best at this, but I know what it says, you know. In the last days, you know, there will be boasters, proud, lovers of money. It's the reverse happening, complete lawlessness. People don't have consciences anymore. They don't respect law enforcement. And I suppose the last thing I'll say is, I wonder if this is all set up to enforce IDs. You know where I'm kind of going with that. God bless.